Do you want to make your wardrobe more sustainable? Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you 5 super easy tips on how you can have a more sustainable wardrobe that you can get started on today. Hi, it's Elizabeth, and welcome back to Green Living Vegan, where we strive to live a more sustainable lifestyle, one small change at a time. Alright, so super easy tip number 1 on how to have a more sustainable wardrobe is, drumroll please, shop your own closet. Now, I know that might sound like a no-duh statement, and you may have already heard it before, but it's really, really important to remember that ultimately the most sustainable clothes are the ones that we already own. The last thing that we want to do is get into this mindset where we think that none of our clothes in our closet are sustainable enough, and we have to completely get rid of them and purge them all and buy new, sustainable, ethically made clothes. But if the clothes you currently have are working for you, don't get rid of them. Use them and love them, and don't get rid of them just because they're not sustainable clothes anymore. So one of the things that helps me when I'm shopping my own closet is I like to organize it every once in a while so that it just looks and feels fresher and newer to me. And one of the ways that I like to do that is I just recently organized my clothes all by color and my shirts by sleeve length. But yeah, organizing them by color was super satisfying. Do you also get satisfied by color-coded things? If so, hit the like button. And if while you're shopping your own closet, you feel that you do want to do that spring cleaning and purge some older items that might not fit you anymore, or you haven't worn them in a year or something like that, keep in mind not to ever throw your clothes in the trash, ever, because they ultimately will end up in a landfill, and that's not good for the environment. Instead, donate those clothes to local thrift stores, or better yet, shelters. Try to avoid donating to larger thrift store corporations like Goodwill, because a good chunk of their unsold products either get sent to the landfill or they get shipped over to developing countries to resell, and that really harms those developing countries' local economies. Alright, so moving on to tip number 2, and that is to take care of the clothes that you already have. And that includes mending your clothes, like learn how to darn a hole in a sock, or learn how to use an iron-on patch, or how to sew on a button, or fix a zipper. You could even learn how to hem your pants or shorten a sleeve. The sky is the limit for mending and taking care of your clothes. When it comes to your shoes, you don't have to do anything for that. You can ship them off to a shoe doctor and they'll take care of them and revitalize them, and then they'll be as good as new. You could even lean more towards the creative side, and you could learn how to alter your clothes or upcycle your clothes, create something different from something that you already had. The sky is the limit when it really comes to taking good care of your clothes so that they have a much longer lifespan than they were originally intended. Okay, so moving on to tip number 3, which is by far my favorite tip, and that is to buy your clothes secondhand. Now that means thrifting and going to thrift stores or buying online secondhand. And yes, you can buy your clothes from larger thrift corporations such as Goodwill, but really try to focus on local thrift stores and boutiques in your area if you can, so that you're supporting a small business and supporting your local economy. That may include consignment stores, and consignment stores are great for vintage items or higher end or luxury items as well. You could also go to or host clothing swaps, which are a ton of fun. So I love thrifting and buying secondhand. In fact, my beautiful top is thrifted, and also this necklace right here. So I absolutely love thrifting. I am a thrift queen. I admit it very proudly, and it's so much fun. I absolutely love it. Do you love thrifting too? If so, type thrift boss in the comments below. So one of my favorite ways recently to buy my secondhand clothes is online, and my favorite platforms are Poshmark and ThredUp. Out of the two, ThredUp is my absolute favorite. They make it super duper easy to order the products you want, get them in the mail, and super easy returns too. In fact, soon I'm planning on making a video all about ThredUp and how easy it is to use and how awesome it is. So if you're interested in seeing that video, hit the subscribe button and that notification bell so you know when I release that video. So moving on to tip number 4, and that is to buy sustainably. Now this may sound like something super duper easy to do, especially now that every corporation is branding themselves as sustainable brands, but it's really up to us as conscious consumers to keep asking those questions and to be researching and dig past all of the greenwashing because it's everywhere. Any company can say that it's sustainable. But when you do the research and to research these brands, you can find, oh, no, you might use organic cotton, but those garments are still being made in sweatshops. So that's something that we just have to be aware of and really, really research brands before we decide to add that item to our shopping carts. So when you do find that one sustainable brand, some things to keep in mind while buying sustainable clothes is to buy clothes that are trans-seasonal, which means that they can be used any season and you're not falling into a trend that is going to be out of style in 3 months. And that also means buying items that you can mix and match. And as often as you can, try to make sure that the garments you're buying are made from natural textiles like cotton or bamboo. And it would be really great if those were all organic as well, so it's doing less harm to the environment. Garments with textiles such as polyester are made from oil. It's made from plastics. And so when you wash your clothes in the laundry, those just end up being microplastics going into the water. And we are moving on to tip number 5 of the super easy tips on how to have a more sustainable wardrobe. And this one is the most important because what we need to remember is to ultimately stop buying unsustainable brands. We can't keep supporting brands that ultimately do not work towards sustainability for people and the planet. And that means not supporting fast fashion brands who release a green capsule of 15 to 20 items of organic cotton textiles, while the rest of their 98% of their products are made by garment factory workers who aren't being paid a living wage or don't have any ethical working conditions, and those textiles are completely detrimental to the environment. And when we're scrolling on Instagram and we see this adorable item that we have to get for that one occasion, we just have to remember to say no and to ultimately remember why we're saying no. Because when we buy from unsustainable fashion companies and we give them our money, we're literally telling them that we are okay with their business practices. And the less and less that we buy from those companies, the more of a message it sends to them that they need to change what they're doing. So I know that got a little heavy, but I really wanted to emphasize that final tip because while we're getting excited about curating a more sustainable wardrobe, we need to remember why we want a more sustainable wardrobe and why that's important for other people and for the planet as well. So that wraps up the 5 super easy tips on how to have a more sustainable wardrobe that you can start today. So I'm curious, what are some other steps that you've taken to build a more sustainable wardrobe for yourself? Let me know in the comments below. And if you got value out of this video, hit the like button. And also don't forget that I post new videos every week, so don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know when I release new videos. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Do you want to make your wardrobe... Voice crack. That would have sucked. Super simple taps. Super simple taps. Do doing it for the gram. Okay, so getting pumped. Okay, so feel like really Hollywood glam. The lips and the gold and the poofy. Thanks so much for watching. If you want more tips and tricks on how to live a vegan and sustainable lifestyle, I post new videos every week, so subscribe and hit that notification bell. See you in the next one.